Hey, welcome back everyone. This is Bill. I am the prepper that is the expat that is living in the Philippines. Today I wanted to go over my current medical preps, okay? It's been about 8 months and I've added a lot of things to it. So part of being a prepper is when you're concerned about natural disasters or any crisis situation, you cannot always rely on the government and our medical professionals to be there to help you, right? So you need to have your own medical supplies on hand. So this is going to be what I have in my prepper supply bins. This does not count my gun kit, the medical kit I take to the gun range. Does not count the first aid kits in my water business and or the car. So this is just my extra stuff. I'm still missing some things, so comment down below. I think this might be a long video, and I appreciate you guys sticking around for it, but we're gonna go over this little by little here. Now, I currently have 3 full bins of first aid equipment, and they're clearly marked, so it's easy for me when I'm looking at my preps to know where are my first aid supplies. I can look on the outside of these bins and I can see right away what is inside these bins, okay? So when you're looking for something in a crisis situation or an emergency, digging around through a pile of stuff is not gonna help you find what you need. Now, today's video, I'm gonna actually open this stuff up and show you what I got. So let me arrange the camera. So this particular bin, on the outside it says I have my lidocaine, scalpel tape, heat patch, eye wash, sling, syringe, blah, blah, blah. It has a lot of stuff on the outside. But inside, you still need to be organized as well, okay? So you can see I got right away the cotton balls. Cotton comes in handy for a lot of things, a lot of uses. So I'm gonna set that off to the side here. Let me adjust the camera. This particular container, I have some N95 masks. These are my backups. I have 2 packets of Bleed Stop. These are the large packs. I have this in my gun range kit and other places. This is my extra. Now the thing about Bleed Stop, you have to kind of think about, it does have an expiration date. This is September 2028. I'm not sure how that really holds true or not. Now inside each of my bins, I have small bins, right? So this one here clearly says this is where my heat patch, eye wash, sling, and other things might be. So let's take a look. I have eye drops, I have my sling, I have the heat patch. Looks like I have some gauze, extra gauze in here, and an emergency blanket. But if I'm looking for a sling or eye wash solution or anything like that, I know right away it's in this container. I have a big box of 5 milliliters 23 GX1 disposable syringes. Here I have a 12-pack of self-adherent bandages. Now these are all extras. These are sticky bandages. They're good for keeping dressings closed. Now I haven't bought my large oxygen tank yet, but right now I do have on hand 3 of these dollar price, give or take, cans of oxygen. I haven't actually tried one yet, but I do have these if I need oxygen for a short period of time. This small kit says lidocaine, scalpel, tape, and some quick clot. So if I was to look in here, I do see my scalpel. I have some eye patches, okay, extra tourniquet, some dermal rolls. I do have my extra quick clot here as well as my extra chest seals. And I have a bunch of lidocaine. Now the lidocaine you can pick up surprisingly without a prescription because it's used in tattooing. So this lidocaine is great for pain relief on local sized wounds. So that's all in this little box. I'll set that aside here as well. Of course I have some extra regular bandages. That's some more N95 masks. In here I have an extra little bag. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, but it's a medical bag, so I have it handy in case I need to put together another kit for something. And I have an assortment, I'll just show you guys. I haven't, oops. I have an assortment of Israeli bandages. Now these are my extras, right? So these bandages I've slowly added to over time. They're actually quite expensive, but when you need these kind of bandages, you absolutely need them. So I have both 6 and 4 inch bandages. Toss in a little tourniquet, portable one, and that's bin number 1. Let me pack this back up. I'll show you bin 2 in 1 second. All right, I'm back with you guys. I got bin number 2 here, and on the outside it tells me I have my gauze, Band-Aids, ointments, iodines, my blood kits, my IV kits, alcohol, tape, moleskin, Vaseline stitches kit, staplers, skin glue, splints, braces, and ACE bandages. So let's take a quick peek in here. Now, just like everything, I have some extra stuff, so I have extra. So I do have a bunch of Vicks inhalers in here as well. Now, you'll see that this says Blood Kits IV. So I do have the capability, and if I can show you here, I have infusion sets, I have pushing rigs, I have saline solution to start the drips. I have butterfly cannulas for insertion for either scalp or small size. So I would never, unless a dire situation, want to use this stuff, but I do have it. And included in here is blood typing kits, transfusion kits, and I do have a case of dextrose, sodium drip. So if one person in my community was around and they had the capability, I have the supplies to do an IV drip and et cetera, et cetera. So I have that here. Now, this one says ointments and iodine. Now, I'm getting a strong smell from here, so I'm not sure if something's leaking or not, so I'll have to double check. But in this box, I have all my benzocaine for burns. I have hydrogen peroxide, iodine. I have Multiderm, which is an antibacterial cream, Neosporin, and some Q-tips that have iodine already in them as well. So that's what is here in my ointments and iodine kit. I have an extra arm splint, some regular bandages, some extra gauze. So the gauze and bandages I have kind of spread throughout. So it's one of those things. Here I have a neck brace, adjustable size. Some small bandages. I have a child's wrist support. So, you know, kids tend to fall. So this can be used to brace a wrist. Had to do a battery swap there real quick. I'm back. All right, so obviously I keep my sterile gloves here as well. Like I said, I have Band-Aids and stuff throughout all these boxes. This particular one, like it says outside, has my spare ACE wrap bandages. Now this particular one, it says stitches, skin glue, and staples. So I have the ability to put in sutures. I have a full suture kit here as well. And I have sutures as well as a derm pin. So this is like a skin super glue, but it's medically good for that. I also have disposable skin staplers and the removers to go with it, as well as a supply of sutures of different types. I have internal sutures that will dissolve, and I have external sutures that will need to be pulled out when your wound is healed. This says blood kits, IV kits. I do have a lot, so this is a secondary one. This one has all the butterfly cannulas, right? So these little guys, they're tiny, but these are what, you know, these are little needles you use. Now, they're all different sizes, so I got a whole bunch of different sizes depending on the need. So again, something I wouldn't particularly use myself, but if I needed to, I could. Some more ACE bandages. I do have a large supply of those. Another kid's wrist guard. This one says alcohol, tape, moleskin, and Vaseline. And that's exactly what you see inside here. You see some tubes of Vaseline. I have some Dr. Scholl's moleskin in here for blister treatment. I have some extra alcohol wipes, some medical tape. So all of this stuff is pretty well labeled and pretty easy to get to, which is the key. So if you're looking for supplies and it takes you longer to find what you're looking for, you know, every second you delay is important. All right, so let me go ahead and pack up this bin number 2, and in 2 seconds, we'll get on bin number 3. Stand by. Now, those 2 white bins you saw were my first bins, and believe it or not, I moved on to yet a 3rd bin. So I couldn't find another white bin to make things match, and that's my OCD having problems that my medical supplies aren't in the same colored bin. But I have labeled this one on the outside first aid. And this one says it contains mostly medicine and some other things. So let's take a look and see what I got in this box here. It's a much bigger box. All right, so right off the gate, I have a bunch of extra tissue. Now, tissue comes in handy medically for a lot of reasons, but also it's just nice to have some tissue on hand. So in here, I have a lot of tissue. And when it comes to tissue, I also have my leftover Porta wipes, right? So these are compressed towelettes that when you add water, actually produce a pretty strong wipe, right? So I've done a video on my EDC hygiene. You can search for that and check it out. So I have 2 full boxes of Advil. Advil is my pain medicine of choice. Another box of Neosporin. I have 2 boxes of Pharmacetitol, which is the local flavor for pain relief. Nicorette gum, in case I ever need to quit smoking. Not the best vitamins in the world, but I have some extra Centrum Silver because my hair is silver, let's be honest. Melatonin. If someone needs to sleep, the melatonin is going to help them sleep. So I have some of that as well. I have a lot of no smoke nicotine patches because, you know, if you're in a crisis situation, and I learned this with the lockdowns, cigarettes may not be available. And if you're a smoker, and I am, you can comment below about how bad that is. Having something to relieve the craving is actually a must. I have children's Pharmacetitol. Kids can't always take the pills, right? And it's not bad to have some children's medicine as well. So this one says I have some Loperderm, Pharmacetitol, ibuprofen, and my potassium iodine. Now, potassium iodine, hopefully I'll never have to ingest that, but I do have it in case it's needed. Let's see if I can show you what I got here. The loperamide hydrochloride, this is when your bowels are not being nice and you need to slow things down. Some extra Pharmacetitol. I have some extra ibuprofen. This is a different brand. This one has ibuprofen and paracetamol mix, so it's another pain meds there. I have 2 different types of potassium iodine, 2 little bottles there, so that's there if I need it. Hopefully I never will. Let's see what I got here. I got some more children's liquid pain medicine. I do have a box of plaster of Paris, right? So if a cast needs set or the ace bandages just aren't cutting it, I do have plaster of Paris. I can, you know, wrap this stuff around and it will harden and we'll make a cast. All right, let's see. The last one I have is a hodgepodge of stuff. Some Doperamide. So this is when your stomach's doing the opposite and you need some help. That's good for you. Aluminum magnesium, if you're suffering from GERD, heartburn, or something like that, that's going to help you out there. I have a hodgepodge of medicines to cover various things, including Vicks Vapor Rub and a bunch of stuff. Some B12 vitamins, a whole lot of more of BioFlu, which is your generic out here cold medicine, right? You know, stuffy nose, congestion, fever, body ache. So I have a lot of that as well. So this is where I'm at on my reserves, right? So I have, I don't know, 4 or 5 full kitted first aid kits spread out around the site, my water shop, the car, the gun range bag. So I have stuff that I'm working in and out of all the time. Now I am constantly adding to my supplies, and I'm constantly checking things that would be nice to have. I want to get a full oxygen tank with the regulator. I'm just kind of cheap and I'm waiting for it to go on sale. And I'd really love to have something around an AED device, but man, those are expensive. So that's it. So now I know this is kind of a long video. I do appreciate it if you follow along. I do these videos for a couple of reasons. One, I like to share what I have and give you guys some creative thoughts on what you might be missing. But I'm also looking for comments and feedback on things that you see that I'm missing. Okay? So if you can do me a favor, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know where you think I need to stack some more items or some different things. And if you want to like this video, I would appreciate that as well. All right, guys. Until next time, everyone, please be safe.